Hey, sixth graders. Okay, so today I'm going to do my next reading of the Crossbones. It is going to start on page 101. And I will also post the pages on Google Classroom so you can follow along with me. And then our discussion questions, we will talk about that at the end. I hope everybody did their I-readies. And I can get on there and check those off for the week, and we don't have to worry about that anymore. So, Crossbones. Here we go. Wednesday, June 22nd, 9:38 p.m. When he got back, I traded Fitz jobs, unloading and cleaning the boats while he wiped off 26 flies in record time. My dad was none the wiser. I guess if Fitz and I were truly competitive, he would have found a way to let my dad know, but everything remained between us. When Fitz was through, he told me to keep practicing on those flies, and I told him to keep practicing on that fishing, and then he got on his old motorcycle and took off, a stream of blue smoke trailing him in the moonlight. I know just how he felt. I'd been there. Nothing makes you more tired than rowing a boat all day and listening to people complain about not catching fish. It's murder. Before I could get my phone back from my dad, he looked at my fly tying handiwork and found some of it wanting. I had to admit there was 26% little guys in this pile, but the rest were gimps. Half of them probably wouldn't even float. I could spray them with some WD-40, I said lately, hoping to get him smiling. He handed me my phone and smiled. Can't be good at everything. I guess Fitz is bad luck on the water. Worst day of the year. I felt bad about how good it felt to hear my dad say that. It isn't fair to Fitz, but I sure don't want to get into the habit of sitting around the shop all summer when I could be out fishing. Fitz could tie, and it was starting to look like I'm good luck on the river. Now, if only that good luck could make its way to Springfield, Missouri. I have no doubt that Sarah needs it. Thursday, June 22nd, 12:03 a.m. By the time I finally called Sarah, she was sitting in her car across the street from the school. She'd been waiting a while and was impatient, and our conversation was brief. A minute after I reached her, Sarah was wandering the grounds, searching the bottom of every lamppost she could find. Some of them were new because the school had been added onto, but there was an entire wing that still had the old facade and a few statues of patriarchs that Sarah said looked real, like they were planning to climb off their pedestals and drag me down the street. She found a row of lampposts that looked like they had been placed there quite a long time ago, and then she was feeding me information that felt right. Okay, there's a bunch of these, like 8 or so, and they have big bases on them. It's like they're tall and skinny, but wide at the bottom. They're not numbered, but they're in a row. That's good, right? I told her to count from, I'm on page 104, if you're following with me. I told her to count from one end of the row until she got to the third one. Then see if there was some sort of latch or metal door at the base. Dang it, she said, louder than I thought it was a good idea. There was a small metal door, probably for getting across to the wiring, but it required one of those Allen wrenches to get in. Sarah cursed herself for not bringing tools and then ran across the school grounds to her car while she kept a toolbox in the trunk. After what seemed like an hour, she returned to the lamppost, fumbled around with a bunch of different sides, and found the right one. When she finally got it open, she put her hand inside and felt around. It feels like I might get electrocuted in there, she told me. Can you say Frankenstein? I had a terrible urge to tell her the electrocution bit is only in the movie, not in this book. But that was probably not the right time to go all literally on my best friend. I controlled my urge to talk about Mary Shelley and stuck to the business at hand, which was getting Sarah out of harm's way as fast as she could. And if you remember Mary Shelley, that was one of our passwords in the last book. Just be careful, not going to hurt you. It's not going to hurt you. Easy for you to say, you're at home with this door locked and I'm searching the grounds of a haunted school. Point taken. Try reaching up into the space where no one would ever think to find something. I could hear her doing her best. Imagine her arm in there up to her elbow as she tried to find a hidden key. What if she really did get electrocuted? What if there were loose wires in there and she got fried her own dang arm off? Got it, she yelled. Whew! I yelled nice, a little too loud, and my mom woke up. I could tell because she shouted, "You okay, Ryan?" down the hall. I didn't answer. My mom is a pretty heavy sleeper, and she hates to get out of bed at night. Once she's up for like an hour, and I could imagine her staring at the ceiling, thought she'd heard me yell, hoping she could stay where she was. Sarah was yammering in my ear, but I stayed perfectly still and quiet. What if my mom was sneaking down the hall, sitting at my door? I watched for a shadow under the door for a full minute and then breathed a sigh of relief. She had to be asleep again. Sarah had found a small metal box held inside on a hook up where no one would ever have a reason to look. This was getting good. I whispered to her, "Mom's alert, gotta stay low. Listen, those statues of people, how many are there?" I was thinking the same thing, and you're right, there are 4. Then you know what to do. Remove the key and lamp marked 3. Go to 4 and open the door. So that's right there. I heard Sarah running, her breath heavier than it needed to be. She was starting to get scared or nervous, I could tell. I talked her down, trying to make her feel better, but she was starting to feel the pressure. "I don't like it out here, Ryan. Something doesn't feel right. Just stay calm. You can do it. There must be some sort of small door with a key entry somewhere at the base." She told me there was, but there were her hands shaking so badly she couldn't even get the key in. Also, the keyhole was totally blocked with crusted old chewing gum. Ugh. Use the smallest Allen wrench you've got and clean it out. That was a good tip because a ring of Allen wrenches also has sizes that are like metal toothpicks, perfect for clearing away old gum. Someone's here, I can feel it. I'm turning my camera on. I tried to tell her no, just stay focused on the keyhole, but she wouldn't listen. Everything went quiet. I called her name, but there was nothing. Even her breathing had stopped. And then the phone went dead. Okay, we're on the top of page 108. Thursday, June 23rd, 12:13 a.m. I tried calling back twice, but it went straight to voicemail. I paced in my room. Was she seeing things? Was there really someone out there? What was going on? My phone buzzed with a text message. "He's here." I typed back as fast as my fingers would fly. "Who? Get out of there." Her reply was the same thing I wanted to see ever. Was the last thing I wanted to see ever. "Old Joe Bush. He's here." That was as close as I've ever come to screaming in my room. Actually, I did scream, but I got my pillow first and I held it against my face. A few seconds later, my phone rang and Sarah was back. "Tell me you were messing with me. Please, Sarah, tell me you were kidding." "I'm back in my car. I'm safe, but I wasn't kidding. He was there, Ryan. He was right there, standing in the shadows." "It could have been anyone," I said. These words made more out of hope than reality. I knew old Joe Bush was still out there. I'd seen him myself. My camera was on, so I'll show you. Right now, I'm getting out of here. This is crazy, Ryan. Like, really crazy. And then she started laughing. She was thrilled and scared to death all at once. Sarah Fincher loved this kind of ride where the stakes were high and the shocks were off the charts. But even this one got to her more than usual. She was laughing, but it was a hair shy of turning into crying. I knew her well enough to know that much. Someone was watching us. Someone knew. And that someone was out there with my friend, keeping an eye on what was his. I got it. I got what we were supposed to find. Those were the last words Sarah said before stepping into the hotel lobby. Okay, here we go. I thought a video would be next, but it's not. We got to read some more. Thursday, June 23rd, 12:21 a.m. Let me see. Video soon. Sarah was calm when she called back 15 minutes later. She was in her hotel room, and I could tell she'd hit the wall. She was safely tucked away in a locked room. We both felt better. She'd gotten the small metal door open, and she had found another small reel of film, which meant the apostle was about to start talking again. And there was something else. Sarah's parents were more upset than she'd expected, and they wanted to know exactly where she was and why she drifted off course. Not a great phone call earlier in the night, she told me. I thought they were going to make me turn around and head back home. She called them around 9 to tell them she made a mistake in St. Louis and was headed towards Springfield instead of Little Rock, but she hadn't realized it until she found herself 4 hours off course. The part that stung the most to them was thinking that I was actually that dumb. She went on. I mean, seriously, do they really think I drive 4 hours in the wrong direction without doing it on purpose? They weren't onto us as I had been so worried about. No, they were something far worse than Sarah's book. They were worried their daughter was an idiot. I tried to convince her that having her parents think she's dumb is actually kind of useful in this particular situation. You can make as many mistakes as you can make as many mistakes as you want. They'll just think you have a bad sense of direction. Ryan, you don't get it, she corrected me. That was the only slip up they're going to allow. They got me a hotel room here, but only after grilling the front desk lady like she was a convicted felon. So embarrassing. If this happens again, they're pulling the plug. My dad said so. Not good. Not good at all. Since there were at least a couple more times on this journey where showing up would require a small miracle. She was road weary. Too much junk food, too many headlights in the face, and not nearly enough sleep had pushed Sarah to the brink. Now I'm exhausted too. It's time to get some sleep, if I can. Thursday, June 23rd, 8 a.m. This is 113, page 113. Sarah was up very early. I can tell because she posted another video before hitting the road for Little Rock. This thing is scary in so many ways. There's her troubling documentary about the words 311, door, go slam, and you're dead. I never liked that phrase to begin with, but now I don't want to hear it again for as long as I live. Then there's a new message from the apostle, which is stranger than the first. But the most terrible part, by a mile, was what her camera caught when she was at the school. I had no idea what she'd seen. She hadn't told me. Nope, not good old Sarah. She had wanted to show me so I could be just as scared as she was. This video changed everything, and I don't recommend continuing with this journal until you see it. The stakes just got a little higher. Video time. So the password is SLAM. So you go to sarahfincher.com, password SLAM. And I will meet you back here to finish the rest of the pages all the way to page 120, and that's where our next set of discussion questions starts. So enjoy the video. sarahfincher.com, SLAM. And I will see you back here in just a little bit, 6th grade.